Yeah, good morning. We are here in Denver, Colorado. And if you look, oh, it's a 360 camera. Why am I turning myself around? We're panning around. You look over that way, you'll see some mountains and stuff. Um, we're here at Big Soda Lake in Lakewood, technically, for the Rocky Mountain Paddleboard SUP the Rockies race. Bill, how's your weekend going so far?
Ah, I'm having a great time. This is my first time in Denver. In fact, this is my first time in Colorado,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just loving being here. And I really like events like this. Mike said to me, "Hey, Bill, there's an event in Denver," and I said, "What sort of event?" He said, "Yeah, it's a cool event. People turn up. There'll be a 2-mile fun race and a 4-mile race with a few decent paddlers there." I said, "Ah, let's do it. That's great fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the day goes."
Nice. Yeah. We drove in last night we were in Utah before, and nice little, nice little drive through the mountains. But yeah, you can see we've got the RMP crews out here. They're getting the buoys set up. There's a couple of start buoys here, getting registration. We still got about an hour before the race starts, and we're just getting into the staging area now. So, got a lot of outrigger canoes for some reason. Who knows why? We all know what's better. We got some paddle boards. And we're just excited to see everyone. Hey, and we got some one-wheel action going on. So it's just a fun environment, fun place to be. And we've got our boards blown up over here, and we see some other folks getting ready with theirs. And yeah, I'm excited, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really nice to see such a mix of craft as well. We've got some all-round boards. We've got some inflatable race boards, which is what we're using. There's some hard race boards, and whatever happens in these easy conditions, really nice paddling conditions, this is what I like. Anyone can come and try a race like this.
Yeah.
And if you can paddleboard, you can come and do this race. Super easy. Look at that. Easy, lovely flat lake. The distances are never going to be too long. You're not going to be miles offshore in big surf or anything like that. This is fun. This is what racing should be about.
Yeah. I totally agree. This is a race I've been coming to. We were talking about on the way in. I think this is my 6th race here at Big Soda Lake. They do one here in the spring. This is the Icebreaker. Then they have the bragging rights in the fall.
Yeah.
And it's just I've always had a good time, no matter where I finish, no matter what. It's a blast, and that's how I've always viewed racing. Is that I'm here to have an enjoyable time, meet people, and just enjoy paddling.
Yeah.
So the race will go to the left to start. It'll go to that buoy first.
Okay.
So we'll start between the red ones, go out to that buoy, back here, out there, and then back in. Okay. My strategy will be to go wide and then do kind of a inside semi-pivot dabbing bow draw.
When I'm racing, I never do a full pivot turn.
Yeah.
I do a safety turn because I just don't want to fall in.
Yeah.
And there's always contact.
Yeah. Well, let's turn this and head back in so we can get that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I'm not really lifting that much, there's probably not a lot of point in me surf stancing.
No.
And I'll probably just go for just a little bit of back and then stability. Okay, so race is over. We had a little award ceremony. Bill, what did you think?
Yeah, it was that was fun. For my personal taste, it was slightly longer. It was nearer 5 miles than the advertised 4.
Yep.
And my body was starting to tell me that around about 4 miles. It's like, okay, you should be finishing now, but there was still quite a bit more racing to go. But it was a fun course. I really liked the fact that the course took you out, but not too far. Then you came right back into where all the spectators were, and you had to go around a buoy there, and you could hear everyone cheering and giving you encouragement, and that's kind of fun. That's a really nice thing to have in a race. And yeah, but lots of paddleboards from really pro level carbon composite race boards through a bunch of inflatables, and then in the 2 mile lap, in the 2 mile race, quite a lot of people just on standard all-rounders.
Yeah.
Which is great to see.
I had a very interesting race, and something has not happened to me in a race before. I actually had a DNF. It did not finish. I undertrained and overcommitted, especially early on. And during the third lap, my whole body started shaking, and I was like, I completely bonked and was not able to continue paddling. And so I kind of called it. I was like, I could limp along for a fourth lap, but there's no fun in that. And I was just, we've got some other stuff going on later today, so I was like, let's just call it. It's good for what it is. And,
you did the right thing as well. I mean, hey, this is it's not like there was any prize money at stake. So it's just about having fun. And if you're not having fun, with racing, especially with longer distance racing, I always have this kind of minor issue that it does turn into a bit of a procession after the first lap.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I knew where I was going to be finishing. I was going to be first inflatable, but I was going to be fifth, and that wasn't going to change. So
no, and I don't even know if it took an entire lap for that to happen.
Yeah.
And so it really, it sorted itself out really fast, and at that point, it's just kind of now you're just putting on miles.
Yeah.
Now you're just doing a workout.
Yeah, that's right.
The start was fun. The starts are always fun with those because it's chaos and things get choppy. And I feel like I got tossed around more than I have in previous years, and it definitely showed. And you got out in front of me a little bit, and then I saw you go out in front of me. I was like, great, I'm going to draft on Bill, and then Bill had no wake coming off his board. Kind of laughed myself a little bit. I was like, all right, that's not going to work. And then we fell in and. We each had our own little mini competitions going on with the people around us. The person I was racing with, for the most part, he kind of came up on me during the second lap, but he made his move on my good side turn, so I was able to cut him off on the turn, and so that was super fun because it was right in front of all the people watching, and able to just really cut the inside and
that's what the spectators want. There's a bit of action there. A bit of action in the corners. That's always the fun stuff. That's the main overtaking lane in paddleboard racing. Actually putting your head down and trying to get past someone on the straight is harsh. Yeah. Especially on a longer distance race like that, where you can't afford to put your heart rate up red line too much in the middle of the race because you'll just pay for it. But at the corners, you have a good boy turn and you smoke that guy. I've seen the footage. It was great. Yeah.
This is a race I've done several times before, and I'm sure I'll be back for it again. But I think what was really cool is at the end, at the award ceremony, before they did the awards, they asked who here was a first-time racer.
Any first-timers here? I saw a couple. Awesome. Good job. Thanks for coming out.
By the time I turned around, some of the hands had come down, and I saw 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And so it was a good number of new racers, and that was really exciting to see.
This really shows, this sort of event, that you don't need a big body of water to have a really fun race.
No,
this is a pretty small lake.
It's very small.
But it was a good course, and hey, we had a nearly 5 mile race, on a little lake that actually only takes you a few minutes to paddle from one side to the other. And any would-be event organisers watching this, if you've got a little bit of water in your backyard, you don't need much water. And I mean, how many buoys do we need for this? One. You could literally do it with 3 buoys, couldn't you?
Yeah, 3. We could do it with 3. We had 5
to make a kind of a wider turn and give a start line, but you could have done it with 3.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the relatively short distances, it keeps it easy to manage, and just make sure everyone can have fun. Safety is easy to control because we're never too far away, and the whole race is easily viewed. And So
And-
it's a great format,
Yeah.
it works.
I had some friends in the area that came to this race, and they had come to a previous race out on the other end of town that was a big lake, big lap distance race. And they came to that one, and they were like, yeah, it was cool. We saw you at the beginning, and then we saw you at the end, and that was really it. But when they first thing they said here was, man, that was really fun to watch because we actually got to see things happen.
Yeah.
And it was just a good format.
Yeah.
I really like this format way better than like the super long distance ones just because of that. And that's, in my opinion, how that the sport of SUP racing can really kind of get more people involved is to have these kind of races. Overall, I had a good time. Bill, did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
Was
mate,
it worth it coming out?
I mean, when you look at the finances, I had to fly here from New Zealand and then a 9-hour drive.
Since you were in the region, was it worth it coming out for the race?
Definitely,
absolutely.
No, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'd be, if I happen to be in Denver again for some reason, I'd love to come along and do it again.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Excellent.
good stuff. Okay, what do you got lined up next for me?
Whitewater.
No, let's do it. Bring it on.
All right.
So it's Bill from SUP World Guide.
Yeah, Mike with Inflatable Border, and
Signing off till next time.
get your ass out and race.
That's the one. Yeah. No, seriously, give it a try. It's fun. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's good.
And you, as was proved here, you don't need racing kit to start off. Get out there and on anything, give it a try. You'll enjoy it. And then if you want to get up and try some more sophisticated kit, I mean, that was actually one of the really nice things about this. I know we've passed our sign off, but it's still
Yeah, it's fine.
What was really cool about this event was there's a lot of demo stuff. I could have, if I'd wanted to, borrowed world-class paddleboarding gear, a Starboard All-Star 23 inches wide. There was a whole bunch of demo stuff here, so you can come along and try race boards. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I've done that quite a bit. Just come out here and just borrow gear after the race and said, hey, I want to try this, want to try that, and everyone's super cool with it. And I got into an outrigger canoe for the first time when I was up here last summer, and it was super fun and stoked on that. But I haven't been poisoned yet. I'm not about ready to go buy an outrigger canoe.
No. That's crossing to the dark side.
Yeah.
When you start sitting down, that's just it's a slippery slope.
Okay. Well, for real this time though, Mike, Bill,
Till next
go
time.
race, have fun. We'll see you.